Hi, and welcome to the Old Geezer's Diary. I'm Chris. It is, unbelievably really, Friday, the 6th of September 2019. Today, what's on the menu? Well, essentially what's on the menu is the mighty BBC and their mighty licence fee. I'm coming back to this one because I've done a bit of research and I'm really quite gobsmacked with the figures that I've found. The fact of the matter is that the BBC's market share, if you like, is now less than an hour a day. Most people watch, or the average person, should I say, watches around 1 hour a day of broadcast TV on all the BBC channels. So that's BBC One, BBC Two, BBC Three, BBC News. All of those channels get 1 hour between them that the average person watches each day. Some people watch a lot more. People of 75 and over, who are the target for being charged a licence fee now, actually watch 4 or 5 hours most days. And that's because they've got the time to do it. And at that age, it becomes more difficult to do other things. So there you go. Maybe you watch TV as a displacement activity. But if you watch 5 hours a day, then there's something of a case from charging people. But equally, those people are amongst the poorest in the country. So what is the BBC giving us for their massive amount of money? 154 quid a year, that's £3 a week. That's a lot of money, isn't it, really? What are we getting? We're getting some things that I value. So we get BBC News, which I think is fantastic, spread across all the sources. So the main news outlets, that's BBC One TV, BBC News Channel on satellite, Radio 1, 2, 3 and 4. I like them all. Maybe 5, I don't know. All of those deal in news, current affairs, information and features, and they give you lots and lots of stuff. They give you some entertainment as well. But then we come on to other things, like we've got BBC Two, which is nearly all entertainment. Entertainment can be effectively done and made by independent companies, as ITV shows us every single day. So we've got BBC Two, we've got BBC Four, which is really just a repeats channel, and we've got all the kinds of offshoots of the radio channels. So there's loads of little radio channels that belong to the BBC, and most of those strike me as being programmes that most people wouldn't listen to. They're very much minority audiences, and they're part of a kind of political activity by the BBC, which is to try and get more and more people to actually like the name BBC. So when kids hear music on the BBC that they really like, they'll say, oh, it's the BBC, that's really good, I'll go and watch something on BBC. Doesn't happen, actually, does it really? I don't think it's going to happen. So we get that kind of minority station on the BBC. And I've just been wondering what the value is that we get for it. If we watch less than an hour across the board, if we watch less than an hour of BBC every day, we're watching loads of other stuff. So why are we paying all our licence fee to the BBC? Why can't the BBC actually take the things that cost money and that people value, like news, current affairs, and do those out of the licence and commercialise or privatise, or whatever you'd like to call it, the rest? So all the mainstream entertainment on BBC Two and maybe on BBC One could get sponsored or advertising during. Is there a problem with that? I don't really see it, because there isn't a problem with it with ITV. They make successful programmes that are sponsored, that have advertising, and so do satellite channels. Look at Netflix. Netflix makes original content. Amazon makes original content. Disney makes original content, and other channels. The BBC has a problem because it needs to do lots to justify its position in our society, if you like, and lots to justify its position for that 150 quid a year licence fee. But the reality is there are quite a lot of, I guess, actually, if I were hazarding a wild guess at it, I'd say that between half and a third of the BBC's activities could be equally successful or more successful if done as commercial channels. Take the nails out of that. So instead of 150 quid licence fee, we could probably get by on 50. If the BBC became a news organisation, whether it's on TV, on radio, online, if it became a pure news organisation, then it could do very nicely on 50 quid, because the huge expenses of TV are the huge costs of drama. Drama is, I don't know how much, but years ago it was £1 million an hour, and that's just a way of eating money. So I'm wondering whether we should actually start to rethink the complete BBC stroke licence fee algorithm. Does it work? Does it work in our current society? Does it work in our current media environment? Personally, I'm not too convinced. I would love to know what you think. If you've got an opinion on this, let me know. You can reach me through YouTube, through Facebook, through Twitter, and through, of course, Instagram. That's how I feel about Instagram, I'm sorry. And I really would like to get some feedback on that. What do you think about the BBC, its current funding, and what it does? It's a channel like most of its, let me be really honest and say, a lot of its content is entertainment programs that would be just as well done by a commercial channel. Next question. Okay, I'm Chris. This is the Old Geezer's Diary. I promise, see you soon.